What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to welcome back to the Bianconeri zone for a preview. Because we play Verona tomorrow. Despite the crazy weekend it has been, and it's been a crazy weekend. With a lot of news, a lot of surprising news. Conceição came out of nowhere. We got the Gonzalez deal wrapped up, which probably didn't came out of nowhere, if we're being honest, but still, it was a lot that we did in a couple of seconds, or in a matter of hours. And but we play Verona tomorrow, which is big. That's actually what I'm waiting for. Football right now, it's almost the end of the transfer window, which is good, man. It's been a very long transfer window, as expected. It went all over the place, from flying at the start to absolutely kind of dying towards the end, and now trying to fly again with all the deals we're trying to get done. You got Gonzalez, you got Conceição done in one day. And now you're trying to move to get that Koopmeiners deal done, which is still the main guy, despite everything. And the Jadon Sancho one took a weird turn, to be honest. And I saw Roma were losing. I don't rate Roma. I've said it in one of my lives. They can sign Sule and keep Dybala. The backline is not good, and the midfield is nothing special. And I don't want to jinx it, because I'm gonna go to the Roma game next week. I'm at the stadium, so I don't want to jinx that. But I do not rate that Roma squad for 1 second. I like De Rossi as a coach, but that squad overall, besides up top, is not that good. It's really not that good. But yeah. What was I talking about again? Oh yeah, the signings. Jadon Sancho, all those things. But we play tomorrow, and I think that's or for me, that's the most important thing. Doing videos every single day talking about transfers. When is Koopmeiners joining? Are we signing a winger? Is there coming in a center back? Is it Galeno? Is it Jadon Sancho? Is it Adeyemi? Is it him? Is it that? Like, it got boring up to a point, and it's good that it's almost done. So let's talk about Verona, because they were good on that first match day. They beat Napoli 3-0. Surprisingly, I don't think Napoli are an amazing team. Like, I'm not gonna say that, but still, to beat Napoli 3-0 on opening day, that's big. That's big time, especially with Conte in the dugout. That's massive. So we need to respect. We definitely need to respect Verona tomorrow. Otherwise, we will be in for a long ride. Besides respecting them, we have a squad right now that is not 100% ready. So we have absolutely no choice other than to respect a team like Verona on match day 2, like we did respect Como, but it soon became very obvious that they were not offering anything, and we steamrolled them. We steamrolled them, and we did what we had to do against Como. But Verona, another cup of tea. They're not a newly promoted team. They are in the league. They have been in the league, maybe up and down the last couple of seasons. So they know the drill, and they will be up for it. Actually, also, not fun to start against Napoli and Juve on match day 1 and 2. Yeah, 2 home games, but still, overall, it's not an easy start. But let's go over what Motta had to say. Then we do obviously the starting lineup, or the predicted lineup, and then we'll talk about some transfers, because despite everything, it's still not close. But yeah, first off, before I start talking about that, like the real things he said, like the interesting things, his pressers are a lot more fun than Allegri's ones. Because, and maybe it's not even it's tactical, because right now the transfer window is open. I expect a lot of open questions rather than why this formation, why this, why that. Like, despite, like, as long as the transfer window is open, it will be kind of a standard pressers. However, when you listen to Thiago Motta, that's a guy who is absolutely ecstatic to be at this club. He does his pressers, or he speaks, and you can see it, like you and me will be at the stadium to watch a game, like happy to be there. Unbelievable, happy, ready, prepared. Last season, and that's not all on Allegri, by the way. That's just the entire situation of the club in general last season. Pressers were like funerals. It was depressing. It was dark. It was not fun. It was just, oh man, I need to be here. Everybody needs to be here. Those type of vibes. Right now, he was like, I happy. Like I cannot, almost like that meme where it's like, I cannot believe this is my life. That's the vibe he was giving. So that's a positive thing, because last season I said it as well during One Life. I said I feel like a lot of people do not want to be here, not because they don't love the club or whatever, or don't want to play for the club, but in general, it felt toxic last season. It felt like, oh my god, we need to play a game again. It's like a 9 to 5, like or a job you absolutely do not like to do, but you need to do just, to get food on the table whatsoever, like do the right thing. That's how it felt last season. Not so much this season, which is good, which is definitely good. And on match day 1, I thought we saw that right now. But yeah, let's talk about what he had to say. He said the team is doing well. We've prepared well and worked well on the pitch, keeping our feet on the ground after match day 1. We face a good team after their success against Napoli. They will give us a hard time. They know how to counterattack, and they know what they want on that pitch. Like I said, we beat Como, and you should be happy about it. You should be excited about it, because we won. We won, and we saw some positive signs. We saw some very good things. We saw some things we needed to address, which we kind of did this week as well. But it's match day 1. It's against Como. You need to win that. No matter what, you need to win that. We did that, but we did that convincingly. That being said, like I said, it's done. It's over with. You beat Como. That Como game is not gonna help you tomorrow. Verona are not looking at us being like, oh my god, they smacked Como, because I think they will look at Como and be like, we need to beat Como at home. So they will be ready. I watched that Napoli game, not completely. I think like 40 minutes or something in the second half. It was relentless. Like the pressing was at times very impressive. And then again, transition, it was quick. It was really quick, and they punished them for every single mistake they made as well. But in general, and hi, thanks for watching from Germany. I think you're one of the few from Germany, so it's good to have you on. But in general, Napoli were not good on the day, obviously, but still, you can't take that away from Verona. They were brilliant on opening day, and they look like a team that will give everyone a run for their money. On top of that, I hate going away to Verona. If it's to play Verona or Chievo, it's like going away to the Marassi to play Genoa or Sampdoria. I absolutely hate that. For some reason, and especially Verona, for some reason, when we step foot on that pitch at the Bianconeri, we don't look like a football team. Like 7 out of the 10 times we played there, those games were horrible, unwatchable. We got outplayed, or we won games where you're like, oof, how the hell did we win this game? Or we absolutely get smoked like last season. Like going there is not a fun ride. It's not a fun ride. That being said, we still need to win. We still need to win. I'm also from Germany. Didn't know here. Oh, you're as well. No, I didn't know that. Like the most people on this channel are from the US, Canada, and the UK. That's the top 3 on this channel. So it's good to see that people from Europe also watch. Yeah, UK. I mean, it's Europe, but still, I mean, like Europe in terms of like Belgium, Italy, France, Spain, those countries. But yeah, let's move on to the other quotes, because he went into quite some specifics today, and he had a very interesting thing to say, which I wanted to connect back to last season. He was obviously asked about the squad, because we signed Gonzalez. Conceição was kind of announced, I know not by the club, but still, things are moving for the very obvious targets that we needed. Now, he said, I'm happy, I'm lucky to have players with different characteristics who are useful for our team. Everyone has a chance to play. I feel I'm a lucky coach. Mbangula as I've always said, one of the main players in the squad with characteristics that allow him to do his best, either on the right or on the left. And then Kalulu is doing well physically. He has integrated well into the group. And at Milan, he has shown that he can play both as a center back and as a fullback. Now, I thought that quote was interesting. And excuse me. I thought that quote was interesting for a very, very, very simple reason, and that's just me saying this. And people are saying I'm from India. Where are you from? I mean, that's German. That's German, but I cannot read German perfectly, so I don't know what the last two words mean. But thanks for joining in. Now, I thought this quote was interesting because Motta, as a coach, and that's just going off part of his examination or thesis, what he wrote about, becoming a coach and just reading stuff and listening to what he said when he was at Bologna. He likes players. Like, the main thing for him is he doesn't like a player who can only play one position, and that's it, and beside that position he is absolutely cooked. He doesn't like that. He will acknowledge that one player is better in one position and he will use that. That's fair. But he loves players who can actually play multiple positions. Oh, Austria, that makes sense. Because they speak German over there. But yeah, they like players, or he likes players that can play multiple positions. Kalulu is one of them. My issue with Kalulu is not that, or I don't even have an issue with the player. I just have an issue with its plan C, and he was not really convinced, and so on, so on. I don't like that, to start with. But that being said, Kalulu, obviously, like I said before, and as we all knew, is a versatile player. That's what Motta likes. He likes these type of players, which is cool, which is fine, which will come in handy, because that back line, we're bolstering up that midfield, the front line, whatever. That back line is iffy. With an injury, we could be in trouble. So he's going to need to find solutions with players moving around. Maybe, a Cabal center back, a Kalulu on the left, whatever. Like, all these things is what Motta likes. So I get that. And that goes for Mbangula as well. He can play on the right, he can play on the left. That's what he said with Weah. He can play left, right, he can play as a striker. What he doesn't want Weah to do is basically defend, So I do like that we have a coach who acknowledge that players are versatile. Last season, my issue was that we use players in different positions, but we used them in the wrong position. And with wrong, I mean, it was clear to see some of these players were forced to play in a position they couldn't do, or they just look average, and you were taking so much away from what they potentially could offer. That was my main issue last season, and right now that's not the case. That's not the case, because he's trying to build a squad who's versatile, which is cool. Again, because we will get into situations where we have no choice than play a player in a position where he potentially shouldn't be playing, But with him, I trust that more so than last season, because I think he's also smart enough, or will acknowledge quick enough to say, okay, I tried that player in that position. It's not really working. I need to stop. I cannot push that until the end of the season, because it's not helping him, and it's definitely not helping the squad, which it didn't do last season for a large part of the season. But let's move on. Yeah. Okay. Verona, because we do play Verona at the end of the day. And again, it's not going to be easy, and that's what he was kind of talking about. Like, what he was kind of get to was that it's good. We won against Verona, against Como, excuse me. And it's good, positive first win of the season with the squad we had at the moment. And we knew that we had some issues at the back, on the wings, excuse me. And we still managed to, even if it's a newly promoted team, we still managed to win that game without any issue, and that's a positive. Thanks, man. Thanks for the nice words. I also hope this year will be a good year, that we play football, but especially win, and if we don't win, at least make it look good and convince me personally, I don't know about you people, that okay, we are going into the right direction finally, because the last couple of seasons, last 4, we were going into the wrong direction. It was very clear. But yeah, what he had to say was the takeaway, because he was asked about Como. He said 3 points. The result, we have to get used to that, basically winning again, which is obviously 2-0 Napoli, deflected goal. Kvara, I think. Yeah, Bologna do not look good. He said against Como, we understood the phases of the game well. As a team, we did well, and we certainly can improve in all aspects. But that's in the past. Now we're only thinking about the next game, and that's Hellas, Verona. Both the defending and attacking phases count a lot. It's in that area of the pitch that the matches are won. We have to be strong and counter-attack, attacking them in their area, which they decided to make an impact on defending us. Like, when you watch Verona, again, it's one game. I know it's Napoli, and it could be a completely one-off. It could be that that they will crumble, but it didn't feel like that. On match day 1, it felt like what they did against Napoli is something they can do on a regular basis. Basically, it's not a fluke. It didn't feel like a fluke. We are a team, or I think we are a team that want to have control of that game. And with control, I mean, I'm not even saying have 65% possession or 60% possession. I'm not saying that, because Bologna was not that type of team, and I know Bologna had less quality than Juve right now. So you potentially could become that team. However, with control, I mean, like what he said, understand the phases of the game. Last season, we didn't understand the phases of the game. We just sat back. 0-0, 1-0, 3-0, we just sat back. Right now, what I think he means by saying this is that when you are on top, and you make it count. When you are up and you feel, I need to control that game, which we did against Como in that second half. We controlled that game, and we still had chances. We had plenty of chances to score a couple more games. But there was no need to go gun-ho, leave spaces, allow teams to just fluke themselves back into the game. That's what I think we're trying to do. Obviously, there will be games where we will have less possession. There will be games where we will have most of the possession. That's fine. But in general, what he's trying to say is that when you need to defend, you need to defend. But when you need to attack, you also need to attack. And we saw it against Como. When we were on top and it was still 0-0, we went for it. When it was 1-0, we kept going for it. Second half, we scored that goal, got disallowed. We controlled the game, and I think nobody had a feeling Como was going to get a goal here, And we had plenty of chances to make it 2, 3, 4, whatever. 3, 4, whatever, way earlier before that last goal from Cambiaso went in, So, again, Verona, presses, counter-attack, very good. We need to do our best to not, run in that trap, basically. Which I trust us to do tomorrow. And this is the big one, Savona. The issue that I have, the main issue that I have with the transfer market, because I will do a transfer review video. Probably will release it on Friday, the day I leave. Because my issue is not so much the players we're potentially signing. My issue is that some of these players have been left late. That is my only issue. And now we're in a position where we need to do this, And it's about Savona. And he was talking about Savona. Actually, the question in general and the follow-up question was like, man, benching Danilo and Douglas Luiz, is that because they're not training well or so on, so on? And he was like, no, next question. But he talked about Savona because Savona is going to play tomorrow. Like, he's going to play. He said, I like everything about Savona. His commitment, the way he looks at those around him. He's very attentive and alert. He shows that he wants to do well. Mentally, he's prepared. It is thanks to him and the youth sector that has brought him up. Like so many other young lads, they will be a great help to our team. When he talked about youngsters, even if you do not know a player, if he comes out tomorrow and he says, if he throws out a name, you never ever heard about. Just by listening to him, he convinced me personally and others that yeah, I'll trust Savona tomorrow against Verona because man, the way he speaks about him, and I think Savona listens to this, or he already told them in private, and he's like, I can do it. He actually trusts me. I can do it. That's how. That's how. Mbangula played last season. Last season, when we talked about youngsters, or Allegri got talked about youngsters, their first response, or he ended every response with, "But they're still young. They need to learn." Yeah, we know that. We know that, but that was always the main focus. That's like when he played a youngster, it was like I have no choice. It wasn't about I actually trust you. And maybe you can say right now he has no choice because there's nobody else. In Bangula, there's nobody else. I get it. But still, when they're out there and the way he speaks about him, he believes 1,000% that these players will come in and will do a fantastic job. Now, am I convinced of Savona? No, I'm not gonna lie. But if he trusts him and if he believes Savona will do a fantastic job, and I know he has not a lot of options, I trust it, and I will back it tomorrow. And I hope he does well, because if he does well and he actually is that guy, then good for us. we solved an issue in a very cheap way, and that's a massive win. So I'm rooting for Savona, but is it ideal to start the season in this way? No, it's not. That's all I'm trying to say. But he is going to start tomorrow. He is 100% going to start. And then this one. Because obviously he was going to get asked about the captaincy, because Danilo was benched last week, and he wasn't 100% fit, but still, didn't even came on. And Gatti got the armband, But his response is fantastic. That was one of the main points I made last season, or the last 2 seasons, when Danilo got the captain. I was like, why? What? I don't get it. He's a great motivational speaker, but other than that, I don't feel it as a fan. So I refuse to believe that players actually feel that on the pitch. That's how I viewed it. But he said the role of the captain must be played everywhere, not only on the pitch. We have many guys who can do it, like Danilo, like Gatti, who did it against Como. The captain has to transmit to everyone what we want to be. I have chosen the captain for tomorrow, but you will have to wait. We will see him on the pitch. If Danilo starts tomorrow, he will be the captain. I don't think he's going to start Danilo and give that armband to Gatti again. But I don't think he will start because he's not fit. He's not 100% fit. But in general, if he was fit enough to play, I think... Who's not 28? Who's not 28? Did I made a typo, Anin? Who's not 28? I was talking about Savona. I'm not sure. Oh, you mean with the Allegri one. And Giuseppe is right. Like and subscribe, and thanks for the kind words. Hit the like button and subscribe, because actually a like button is quick, but it boosts the algorithm massively. For some reason I cannot explain, it does help the channel massively. Savona is not 28. I know he's not 28. Did I say... What did I say? Did I say he's 28? Then that was... I was not... I'm not sure. I wasn't talking about age. What did I say? But yeah. The captain is what it is. If Danilo starts, I think he will get the armband. But I don't think Danilo will be a main guy. I don't think... the moment we signed Motta, that was one of my first thoughts. I was like, I don't think Danilo is going to be the main guy, Oh, it's a joke about Allegri, yeah. If we signed a player like Calafiori, I think Danilo would absolutely be done. I think Danilo will absolutely be done, It really does. I really think that, because he doesn't... I don't rate Gatti, yeah, but I don't rate Danilo. I don't think Motta's like, oh my God, you're a scrub. I don't think that. But he doesn't look at him like Allegri does, where he's like, oh, you're a great leader and you have a ton of experience. It's very clear that for Motta, experience, it's cool to have experience, but in general, if you're good enough and if I can trust you, and if you've proven in training that I can trust you and that you're good enough, you're just going to play. And that's what I like. That's what I definitely like. It's again the Kostic thing over and over and over again, where it's like, I'm going to play Kostic no matter who's good enough. No matter how good he's playing or if he's actually offering anything, whatever, because he has experience and Junior didn't have experience, so I'm gonna play you over and over again. That was ridiculous. Everybody knew that. He's not that type of coach. Now, who do I think gets the armband? If Gatti plays, I think it's Gatti. I also don't think it's a good idea just to hand it out to to a different player every single week. If Gatti's playing, you gave him to Gatti on match day 1, you should be giving him to Gatti again. That's just how I view it. Do I agree with it? I don't really care. As long as you don't push that into my face where it's like, it's fake because I can see it's not real, then I don't care who's the captain of the club. But if Gatti plays, I think Gatti will get it. I think he will. I think he should get it. I think it's only fair. He got it last week. He did well. So yeah, just hand it back to him, I guess. I don't really care. I just want to win right now. I don't think he's like, okay, this week it's Bremer, next week it's Locatelli, then it's Gatti. Wasn't it Arteta? No, he didn't do that. He just... What did he do? He did something about, he chose 5 or like whatever, and then he had 5 captains or something, and then the following season he let the players decide, something like that. I think it was. Yeah, there was also another team. I'm not sure. Was it Barcelona? I think it's Barcelona who put it out on social media. These are the captains of our season, and there were like 4 or 5 players, and I was like, what? Like that. This is not NFL where every single department, defense, offense, special teams, has a different captain. Like, this is a football team. You have one captain and you have a backup captain. And Mota did it as well last season as well. But I don't think he's gonna just move it around at a club like Juve every single match day. I don't think he's gonna do that. Especially not early on. Hey Jamie, big difference between the two coaches. Mota would have not preferred Kostic versus Junior. I agree, especially not week in week out. Because if Junior came in and didn't perform well, then obviously would have been benched as well. But week in week out, knowing that the guy you're picking in Kostic at the time didn't do that, I don't think so. And he did that at Bologna, but I said I don't think he's gonna do that at Juve. I don't think. It's different to do that at Bologna. Also, he subbed so he rotated a lot, but he's gonna rotate a lot, But I think he will pick 1, maybe 2, and they will wear them from now until the end of the season. I don't think he's gonna go all over the team with it. I can be completely wrong. That will be absolutely new to me. But then again, I'm not really that bothered about the captain armband. Captaincy is just win. If if Cabal gets him and we win 3-0 against Milan, fine. I don't care who wears that armband. It is what it is at this moment in time. Now let's move on to the predicted lineup because not a lot of choices. Now this is not gonna be the setup. I get it. Don't spam the comments. We're not gonna play in this setup. I know. It was just much easier to make the graphic unless we make some very obvious tactical setups. I will tweak it, but these are the names: Di Gregorio, Bremer, Gatti, Cabal, Savona, Locatelli, Cambiaso, Douglas Luiz coming in, Mbangula, Yildiz, and Vlahovic. Doing the lineup is not difficult right now. We don't have a lot of choices. Danilo is not fit, so he's probably not going to start. Will I be surprised if Douglas Luiz is benched for Fagioli? No, not one bit. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. But right now, he's been tipped or rumored to start, so I'm going to say Douglas Luiz. I know it's match day 2, it's week 1, week 2, and I've already... That's why Mota, when he got asked the question about Danilo not playing and Douglas Luiz not playing, high stake players, is that because he didn't do well in training? I was like, no, and that's it. Next question. He's not scared to bench certain players if he deems them not to be ready. Now, how long did Douglas Luiz play? 20 minutes against Como, 15 minutes, and the takeaway in the newspaper was he doesn't look fit, he doesn't look mobile, so on. It's too early. But if he's like, yeah, I agree with that, and for 90 minutes from minute 1 until minute 70 when I make my sub, he cannot keep up with it, Fagioli can, then he will play Fagioli. And I know everybody was like, where is Douglas Luiz? But right now, you just need to trust him. That's all. If you are in season 2, 3, and you can see oh my god, what a mistake. Um, and if you can see, oh my god, he's making the same mistakes over and over and over again with these decisions, and yeah. But right now we have nothing to go off. If he thinks Fagioli is more ready to play right now than Douglas Luiz, then I'm gonna back that. It is what it is. I don't know. I don't know. If that's still the case in week, I don't know, 10, then I'm like, okay, this is getting weird. What's up with Douglas Luiz? But right now, I'm like, yeah, if you think that's a better option, that's a better option. I just want to win. If that's with Douglas Luiz right now, or with Fagioli, or if it's with Savona, I don't care. If we end up winning that game, even 1-0, right now, Como, Verona, and Roma. What are Roma doing, by the way? Because I have the Napoli game on for some reason still. Which was not a good game. 1-2 Roma. Who scored? Oh my god, how many shots did they have, Roma? Jesus Christ. 23. That's crazy. But yeah, right now, these 3 games, if we have 9 out of 9 in these 3 games, I don't care how we get it, because this team is not ready. And we're ready. I'm not saying, oh my god, we have a relegation side squad at this moment in time. It has a lot of holes, players in and out. Is he joining? Is he leaving? It's kind of messy. We don't have a proper preseason, And what we're doing right now is having 2 summers at one. And next summer is getting the players out that we failed to get out right now, and maybe tweak 1 or 2 things. And maybe one big fish will leave and you need to replace him, so on. So next season, it will be more of a better preseason, I'm assuming. But right now, this is it. So if you get 9 points, I don't care how. Even, again, I'm going to the Roma game. If we shithouse our way with a win late, I'm like, fine. 9 out of 9 to start the season. And then we go to international break, which is kind of frustrating. But you come back, and you have your squad and you can prep and so on. I'll take that. Every day of the week, So tomorrow, it's only about 3 points. It's 3 points, We will comment, is it good? Wasn't it good? It's not as good as against Como, or, man, it looked like last season. We will talk about those things, but the 3 points are the 3 points. Before we go into transfer stuff, because we're going to discuss that a little bit, obviously hit the like button and subscribe. But what are your predictions for tomorrow? Verona, Juve, put them in. If you want to win stuff with the predictions, you can join the members club. Join button underneath the video. And you can join the prediction league. And you can win a jersey at the end of the season, or a voucher, so on. Yeah. Also, a lot of people have been joining. Reach out to me so I can add you, and you can start predicting the scores. 2-1 Juve, 2-0 Dusan twice. I think we're gonna win. I think it's gonna be 2-1. I don't think it's gonna be an easy game. Obviously, not like Como. I don't think it's gonna be a Como type of game. It will be more hard fought. They will give us a better, against Como, they offer nothing up front. Absolutely nothing. No threat whatsoever. That will change tomorrow. So that's why I think we will concede a goal, because I don't think we are completely set up the way we should, or Mota thinks we should be. 3-1, Vlahovic scores a brace. I'll take any Vlahovic goal right now. And right now, I mean, to get him going. To really get him going, I'll take any type of Vlahovic goal, even a pen right now. 1-0 Juve, Verona, we always have to grind out. Probably a red card for one of the teams. Oh, that would be a classic. Yeah, Verona away is terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Roma and Atalanta lost. Fiorentina tied. Is the Roma game over? Again, that's what I was trying to say weeks ago. Oh, no. I did a video where I said that. That hasn't been released. Our only rivals in Italy are Inter and Milan. That's it. That's absolutely it. Historically, now, tomorrow, 100 years from now, 50 years ago, our rivals are Inter and Milan in Serie A. That's how I go into every single season. So Roma not winning, Atalanta losing, Fiorentina tying. It's fun, it's banter, but I'm not sitting here and I'm like, oh, good, man. Because I fear those teams. I don't fear those teams. We shouldn't be fearing those teams. We should go into the season being like, okay, what are Milan and Inter gonna do? And that's it. That's it. You know what Atalanta and Fiorentina are gonna do. That's 3-0 Napoli. I think Farah again. They look. No, it's not Farah. Simeone. They look great today. To be honest, Bologna looked absolutely poor. But yeah, it's between Inter, Milan. That's it. You know, I don't like. It's fun that Roma doesn't win and Fiorentina and Atalanta. You know, it's banter, but they're not our rivals. They're not our rivals. I'll tell you that, or not to me. Anyway, but yeah, let's talk about the transfers before we wrap this one up. We signed Gonzalez. We signed Conceição. What do people think about the Conceição deal? Because I did an emergency live yesterday, because that deal was kind of out of nowhere. At first, the reports were like a 10, 3 plus 7 plus 3 loan, and I was like, weird. Like, that makes absolutely no sense. You know, it makes no sense. And then news came out, he has a release clause, and we're in talks, you know, to have first option on that release clause. If you have that, I don't think it's going to be a real release clause. I think we will pay 32 or something if you agree, and we spread that instead a release clause. If you activate it, you need to pay it upfront immediately. So the deal makes a lot of more sense right now. You're still not in full control, you know, because a player has a say in it, you know, even if an option he has a say in it, but you can buy him, and you can then say, we're going to sell you. But with a clause, the player needs to agree with that clause as well, depending on what talks are going to look like with Porto in the next couple of months, so on. But the deal makes a lot more sense right now. On the player Conceição, he felt he will add something that we don't have in that squad. That's obvious, because I don't think we as a player that takes on players a lot. Yildiz does that, but he does that in a very different way. Like, he comes inside in midfield and he just glides past players. With Conceição, it's more like a Chiesa type of vibe, where it's in your face, it's over and over again. It's a lot of, I don't know, how do you need to call it? Some sort of control, anger in himself, trying to beat players. We don't have that in the squad. You know, when I was watching that Como game, it was good. You know, we look good, but you can feel that there's no real directness in that squad. Gonzalez is not going to add that. He's not going to add that. A player like Conceição will definitely add that, and that's why I'm okay with that deal. You know, he's heavily one-footed, which makes him more predictable. But let's see, it can be a Robin type of vibe, obviously to a much lesser degree, but he was also heavily one-footed, and he made it work to an unbelievable level, to be honest. On Jadon Sancho, because obviously we all think, or like most of us think, we get the Coop Miners deal done, and then we'll figure it out, you know. But Sancho is still on the table. Now, early today, it felt like, hey, we have a very good shot at getting Sancho, because Di Marzio, everybody was reporting we are pushing to sign him, and Man U are open to let him go on loan, maybe with an option, pay part of his wages, so on. And then Di Marzio came in that Chelsea are in for Jadon Sancho, and actually they were in for Jadon Sancho a week ago or so, or 2 weeks ago, but was just, you know, asking for information basically. Now Di Marzio's reporting that they're actually looking to not hijack the deal, but overthrow Juve in negotiation by offering Sterling or Chilwell or both of them in the deal. I don't think Man U are going to accept Sterling. They're not going to do that. I do think they will accept Chilwell plus money. I do not know what Chelsea's plan is. They like to burn money. I don't know how many wingers do they have. 5, 4, 6. I don't know. They have about 10, 15 players out of the squad. They don't care. So from that point of view, you can say Sancho definitely doesn't want to be part of that. For Man U, it makes more sense. For Man U, if they get a player they like, and I think they will take Chilwell and money, they're like, the Sancho situation for them is over. It's not a loan to Juve, and next season it's back, and it's like, oh my god, we need to do this all over again. For Man U, it makes a lot more sense. For Chelsea, nothing makes sense. So I cannot speak from that point of view, because nothing what Chelsea does makes sense. They're trying to do the Osimhen deal, and then they're trying to do this and that. It makes no sense what Chelsea were doing. Now, what I do think it makes sense for Jadon Sancho. Doesn't make sense for his career? No, probably not. However, staying in England, the money, and the most important thing, knowing I am part of the squad. I'm not going out on loan to Juve and potentially coming back to Man U, and I need to do this over and over again. Again, for him, opportunity wise, career wise, it doesn't make sense. It makes a lot more sense for his career to join us. But I don't think, and it's not calling him out, I think like staying in England, knowing I'm part of a team, no loan, the wages, I think that is a massive pool. It is what it is. Like that goes for Italian players as well. But for him, career wise, it would make much more sense to join us because he will play a lot more, or he should be. And on top of that, I know we're in a rebuild, but I'm not sure what Chelsea are. They were trying to sign one player, and then they get Joao Felix, because they want to get rid of Conor Gallagher. By all needs, like they were not planning to sign Joao Felix, and then it's like, oh, that player fell through, but we want Gallagher out, so yeah, we'll take Felix. It's all on the fly, so it doesn't make any sense for him actually career wise to join Chelsea, because they're all over the place. For his career, it makes more sense to join us. Pure career wise, where it's like, okay, I need to think about playing time. It makes more sense for him. Now, I need to say that the news from Di Marzio came kind of on England. It wasn't really his main scoop. It was more from English sources as well. Hanina saying, Fabrizio saying only Juve in for Sancho. When did he say that? Because I missed that. You can be right. Did he say that on a stream? Because I didn't watch any. I don't watch his stream actually. I was gonna say lately ever, to be honest. But where did he say that, Hanin? And when did he say that? Was it just a few minutes ago? Because I really don't know. No, I cannot find it. So let me know, Hanin. Maybe I can put it on screen. Sancho will still have to agree to join Chelsea. Yeah, lots of players in competition to play. For his career, but like for assurances for his long-term future, on a stream. Yeah, I did. Did he just said that, or was that an old stream, Hanin? On his stream. I don't watch his streams, to be honest. So when did he said that? Was it just when Di Marzio put out the news? Because Chelsea actually were in for him 2 weeks ago. Maybe 3 weeks ago. I don't know. I think it's 2. Also, English reports were suggesting that they were looking at Jadon Sancho to potentially bring him in, and that's when the Sterling to Juve potentially news came out, and Sterling came out with all the drama and all that stuff. But yeah, maybe I'm completely wrong, and Sancho's like, nah, man, I just need to leave. I need to leave because for me, like he did England. Actually, his good moments in his career were outside of England. It was at Dortmund. Even the loan spell at Dortmund, it was at Dortmund. Now, at Man U, like how many players do well when they go at Man U? Like how many players actually do well? It's actually ridiculous. Like it's a career-ending move basically going to Man U at this moment in time. So maybe he's sitting there being like, okay, this is it. This is my way out of whatever it is that is not working for me in England, in the Premier League. And maybe he's like, yeah, even if Chelsea are in, even if Fabrizio is wrong and Di Marzio's right and Chelsea are in for me, he's like, no, thank you, but that's the move I want to do. Who knows, yeah, let's see. Like an hour ago, a bit after Di Marzio news, they're saying Juve and Man U talks right now for Sancho will be done in the next 2 days. Who's saying that? I'm not following the news, to be honest, so I'm not, like, I'm on stream. I feel that's a deal that, yeah, it's a very late deal where it's like, yeah, we need to get him out, take him, loan with an option, we pay part of the wages. But again, if Chelsea come in with a better offer, with cash, with a player, and it's like it's an obligation, and we take him off your hands, and obviously Man U are going to push for that scenario. Then it will will be up to Jadon Sancho to say, nah, Man U, you want me out, and I agree that I want to leave, that I should leave, but I'm not going Chelsea. I'm going Juve, so figure it out. That's the only way. Will it happen? Who knows? It's very late. Everything can happen. You shouldn't be surprised at this moment in time. You can go to Man U to become a meme, and basically. Something that surprised me is that Malta didn't call up Gonzalez. Allegri would have taken him without a trade. Allegri would have taken him without a trading session. Actually, when was the season we played Cagliari on opening day and Dybala scored? We signed Matuidi maybe a day before, 2 days. I'm gonna say a day. He was announced a day before we played Cagliari, and he subbed them on in the second half. So I agree. He definitely would have taken Gonzalez, but maybe it's like he was doing his medicals right now. The team was in Verona. It's like he's not in the right mindset to actually play. Like physically and mentally, it's not a good move. Countless wingers and strikers have killed their careers at Chelsea. The list is endless. It is endless. It's actually I was watching I was listening to a podcast about that, and the list was insane. Like actually good players who did well elsewhere went to Chelsea and just died, like completely died. So maybe Sancho's looking at that and being like, man, not for me, and maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. And to be honest, we were never really counted. Like when we got Conceição and Gonzalez, if you told us that 4 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, everyone was like, nah, not possible. Right now, the mood is like, oh man, we cannot miss out on Jadon Sancho. We need Jadon Sancho, because then you are completely covered and you have endless of options. So we need to see how that will go. The news is fresh from the Di Marzio. Obviously, it's very very fresh. We just need to see how that develops. Probably tomorrow, because there's not much time left. There's not much time left. We play tomorrow, obviously. And then you still need to get that Court Miners deal actually over the line, officially get it done. So there's still things to be done, but time is ticking. It's really taking time. Let's say it's over. Like this week, it's over. Saturday, Sunday, it's done. So let's see. I just won the Champions League with Fiorentina Football Manager. Man. Doesn't even sound realistic in fake life. But yeah. Okay, people. If nothing else is left to discuss, I probably will wrap up this stream, because I will be back. Sancho's a bonus. Bring Cope. Yeah, that's like for me. You need to get Sancho. Cope Miner. Sancho is a bonus depending on the structure. If we have an obligation to buy Sancho for 45, then I'm looking at that deal. I'm like, that was not really needed, because I like Sancho, but it's not like, okay, you need to have that obligation. Then I'd rather spend that money on a player like, not even 45, but like Bakayoko, for example, who's on the up, and with Sancho's like, right now he's on the down. We all believe that he has the potential to go back up, but it depends on the deal. The Cope Miners one is a priority. The Sancho is, like somebody's saying, Giuseppe is saying, an added bonus, maybe an opportunity, and that's it, But let's see. Probably tomorrow we will have a big update on that, regarding the Sancho one, 100%. So let's see how that will develop, and then we will obviously talk that over as usual. But tomorrow, no live show, just a match reaction. I will be back live on Wednesday, 1,000%. No, on Tuesday, 1,000%. Wednesday potentially, and Thursday I will be live. That will be the last live for a week, because I'm out for a week. And the Champions League draw is on Thursday. I think the 29th. When is the 29th? It's Thursday. The 29th was it announced 2 months ago. So I'm assuming they're sticking to that date. So Champions League draw on Thursday. Excuse me. So let's see how that will go. That will be kind of fun, knowing how and who we are gonna play, home and away, different setup. Something I'm looking forward to, especially not playing in Europe last season. It was not fun, you had a week full of stress, rants, rather than actually playing a game, but let's see. That's it for me, people. Hit the like button. Again, I said it, algorithm, massive boost. So smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow post game.